We're good. We're good. No, we're not. We're not good. We're not good. I don't even have my microphone ready. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Pop in. Let me know where you're from. Say hi. If you haven't been on my show before, I do a live show every Sunday night. My name is Cindy. I explore the inside and the out. I do explore videos, back road explores. I do a little bit of bushcraft. I like to explore abandoned farms and abandoned houses. I like mindfulness. I like to talk mindset, and I like to make friends, and I like to get to know people. And yeah, one of my favorites, just hit the comments just now. This is Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Welcome. Andrew's one of my moderators. I don't think he has missed a live show since I've started them. I've been doing these live shows now for well over 2 years now, I think. My channel itself has been around for 6 years now, right? I'm on all the platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, but yeah, I love YouTube. I love my YouTube crew. The chatters. Guess what I was doing today? Well, actually, let me ask you first, Andrew, what were you doing today? What were you up to? And then I'll tell you what I was up to. And while you're telling me that, I'm going to set up my my microphone and stuff. I have this book, and this is just my phone stand for when I do my lives for my Instagram. But yeah, I like to put my microphone on this book. And yeah, I got a lot going on. Oh, well, you've done lots already, Andrew. You had a nice productive day. And that actually sounds like a nicely balanced day that you had there, Andrew. But I'm sure you're pooped, right? I'm sure you're pooped now. How do your knees hold out with those walks that you do in the evening, Andrew? Right? When you do those walks, do you do those walks specifically to keep the joints flexible? Is that why you do those walks like that, so your knees don't lock out? I don't know, right? I would think that with the Hi, Joel. Awesome. This is my friend Joel, everybody. Hi, Andrew. Okay. So you're not doing it just for enjoyment like I do, like I did today. I love fall. I love the smell of fall. Huh? Joel, don't you like fall too? Like, the smells, the colors, like our city. I should have taken some footage when I was at my sister's the other day. 'Cause she lives up in a high rise, right? And you could see the whole city, because the whole city's under a canopy of trees. The colors are amazing right now. All you can see is the top of downtown, right? We're in the prairie, so you can see obviously for miles, right? But all you can see is the top of the skyscrapers through all these trees with beautiful colors, right? Awesome. It's all good, Joel. It's all good. Nice to have everybody here tonight. We're going to see who pops in, see how everybody's been doing. What do you think of my painting, Andrew? On my back wall, it's actually kind of crooked, isn't it? I think it gets pulled up a little bit on this side. There we go. Crookedness drives me crazy. I got this at work for $7, this painting. No, I didn't paint it. Doesn't it look? It's a professional painting. I've been trying to do some research on it, but the signature, I guess he did it in some kind of pencil or something, and over the years it faded out. So I'm having a hard time. I deciphered that his first name is Lawrence, but I don't know what his last name is. Right? I don't know what his last name is. And I used to collect indigenous art, right? I used to collect the native art. This has some kind of spiritual meaning it has some kind of spiritual meaning. It's a killer whale. It's kind of an angry face, like his eyes look kind of angry, but at the same time, he looks like he's smiling. This looks like it might be representative of sunrise and sunset, I was thinking. Yeah, it's a whale. It's a killer whale, right? Yeah, it kind of looks like Haida art, but his characters are very distinct, and he's very precise. When I'm looking at the colors and I'm looking at his strokes, they're very precise. So he's a very, very talented artist too, and it was professionally framed. Yeah, so I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about the artist. I love it. I think it goes perfect with my wall. It goes perfect with my theme of exploring the inside and the out. And water is my sign, right? So water's my sign. So it kind of fits nicely, right? And I've got 16 feet of rope lighting that changes all different colors and everything too. So I'm pretty excited to set up some kind of studio here, something really comfortable and something really nice for when we do our lives, right, Andrew? Yeah, a whale, killer whale. When you pop in, just pop in, say hi. Yeah, Andrew will take over. Like he yaps more than I do. I have a hard time sometimes keeping up with Andrew, especially when he's here before everybody else, right? And then everybody just kind of drizzles in until everybody's all here, and then that's when the comments start to go crazy, and then I have to keep backtracking because I get on these rampages of conversations too. But thank you, Joel. Yeah, appreciate the thumbs up. If you pop in, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. But I went bottle digging today. I had to spend a little bit of time outside today. I have to. I need some exercise. I need to eat properly. I need to feel like I'm moving forward and that I'm taking good care of myself emotionally and physically. I just don't want, to feel like I'm a workhorse. I don't want to feel like I'm a workhorse. I want to actually enjoy my life. And yeah, so I went out today and I went down to the riverbank to my favorite spot where I've been bottle digging. If you haven't seen my bottle digs, I got a hutch there. It says Winnipeg across the frontier. And this is Blackwoods. This is now 7-Up. This company is done by 7-Up, right? Oh, good for you, losing weight, Andrew. Good for you. And then I found this beer bottle, right? I found this beer bottle the same day this was the next day that I went up there. Today I went down there and I found this great big old whiskey bottle. I came home and I cleaned it all up. I looked for a seam. There was no seam, but what there is a pontoon on the bottom, right? And it's a beautiful, look at the lip. It's got a beautiful old lip on it. And then about 10 minutes before that, I found this one. Look at this one. It's a little baby. It says drug hall. I think it says right here, it says Winnipeg Drug Hall. A little Winnipeg little drugstore bottle, right? That I found in that spot. And then I got another bottle, but it had beautiful colors, like a pearl, with the blues and everything all over it. But I chopped it. I chopped the top off it when I was digging in the thing. And I don't think anybody else has really been digging there. I think that's all collapsed bank that I've been seeing and not actually people digging in there, right? Because I went today and I looked and I went at the bank and it didn't even look the same. Like it looked like a totally different bank. And the trees look much closer to the river. Like they almost looked like they were going to fall into the river at any moment. And then, so I looked a little bit closer and sure enough, it looks like, I guess when the rain happens and everything, like the weight of the ground on top of it is making it collapse into the river, right? So, oh, is Melvin here too? Hey, Melvin. Happy Sunday. How did your weekend go this week? Anything new and exciting? I got a few good scores at work. One of them was this painting. I left the price tag on it. I should take the price tag off it. I paid $7 for this. I haven't even cleaned it yet. I just put it up there last night, but I haven't even cleaned it yet. So I don't know why I'm using my live to do peel off tape. Only because it drives me crazy, right? Only because it drives me crazy. But yeah, it still has to be cleaned and everything. So I don't know how long it's been hanging up. It has a little bit of moisture. You know how the paper kind of buckles a little bit, just tiny bit. It has a little bit of that going on. But, I'm sure that could be pressed out if I really want to have that professionally taken care of. I know it's probably worth a few $100s, but what if it's like a masterpiece artist? It's dated 1988. So it is over 30 years old. It's over 30 years old. Did everybody grab a cup of coffee? This week I remembered to make a cup of coffee for the live. I went the whole live last week. Didn't have anything to drink except for that cold coffee, right? Lots of new, but nothing exciting, sadly. Sometimes you don't need excitement. I have so much excitement in my life, like always something exciting and interesting and curious going on in my life. Always, and I'm not complaining because that's the kind of the way I like things. I like being interested. I like to be focusing on things at all the time. I don't like to stare off into space. I don't. I have a sister who likes to stare off into space. Right. And it's almost like a meditation, and she'll start that in the morning and then she'll keep it going until it's time to make dinner for the family. And then she'll go back to it until bedtime. Right. So to her, it's like meditation. Right. But I like to be busy, whether it's physical or mental. Probably physical is probably better off for me, just to be set to tasks and everything. How's everybody else with that? Like, do you like your tasks to be mental tasks, or do you like where you're actually, calculating and documenting or researching that kind of stuff? Or is it emotional? Do you like jobs that, have time management issues where you have to stay on deadlines, where the pressure is on, where you're under a lot of stress and stuff, right? Or do you like it physical? Are you up there? Do you like working with your hands in woodworking or just moving real fast like a bartender or a waitress, right? Or maybe you're even social. Maybe you just like those nice jobs that, like a dress shop or something where you just greet your guests and give quality service and stuff, right? Is that kind of action that you like? That would drive me crazy. Right? I like speed, right? And that's why it was a little bit of concern going into the store that I was in. It was a bit of a concern because I want to be busy all the time, right? But this job it's so much fun, right? There is no time. Like there's always stuff to do there. And I'm busy all the time. And even if I didn't have something to do, there would definitely be things that I would be able to find to do to stay busy. And on top of that, just to get first dibs on all the neat things that I get at my work, right? I got a henna kit this week too. I'm going to do a henna on my palm of my hand. I even have a stencil, right? I'm going to do a henna. I've never had a henna. I always wanted to try henna art, right? Like the Indian ladies do for weddings and stuff, right? Like I got designs and stuff here to do designs. And then I got a great big bag of henna and the oil to mix it up. See, and then I even have a hand stencil, right? That peels off and you lay it on your hand and your fingers and stuff. And then you just you just paint the henna right on top of it, and you're supposed to leave it. The longer you leave it, the better. 4 hours is the best. And then the color from the henna goes into the skin, right? And I'm sure it lasts for like 6 weeks. I even have one for, look at this one. This one is for like a band around the arm, right? Right? If I wanted to do a henna on somebody's arm, that's pretty good. Little things that I can do to raise money. Huh. I came up with another idea to raise money. I'm not too sure, right? And when I have that not too sure in my mind, that means I'm taking action on something that I really haven't given any thought to. Well, maybe I have, only in the idea that, you know, I watch tarot all the time. I have a couple of ladies, right? I have a couple of ladies that I follow. They're very intuitive, right? They channel spirit, right? They do tarot at the same time, and they tell fortune and work with the horoscopes and stuff. But like I said, there's a couple of ladies that I watch. And I used to have my own cards. And everything, but I would just do it for fun. It's been a long time. I have to refresh. But I mentioned to one of the ladies, there's one of the ladies at the work. I said, I know tarot cards must come into the store every once in a while. Like, I know tarot cards must come into the store. Do you think that you can give me a heads up when they do? Because they're so expensive. And nowadays, people don't just use one deck. They use numerous decks, right? So, any tarot cards, could I please have them, right? I'll be right at that comment in a minute. Andrew just said something insightful. I can see the chapter going on there. I'm just going to finish my story before it comes out of my head. So I asked her. So the next day I came into work. She goes, Cindy. And I go, what? She goes, I brought you my tarot cards. They were brand new. She brought me 2 decks of tarot cards. And I was so pleased because these are good tarot cards, right? They're the ones for joy, happiness, self-esteem, and confidence. That's what this deck is for. Self-esteem and confidence, exactly in what I was working in. What a beautiful, beautiful gift from a lovely lady, right? A lovely lady at work to think of me like that. She was the same lady who spotted that winter coat for me, and she saved it for me because she knew I would absolutely love it, right? And every time a piece of designer top clothing comes in, she goes, Cindy, look what I got here, right? She gives me first dibs. Yeah, wait till you see my red lace top. It's just beautiful. But it's a summer top too. So it was a brand new deck she gave me. A brand new deck. The cards are absolutely beautiful and everything, right? But like I said, the ladies, when they do their readings now, they don't use one deck of cards, right? They use numerous. They use the oracles, right? And I have the oracles here. She gave me 2. She gave me a tarot, and she gave me the love spells deck. I don't believe in that. That's like, love is something that's absolutely sacred, right? Love is sacred, and it shouldn't. If you have to put a spell on somebody to get them interested in you, I don't know if this is just for relationships. Yeah, romance and passion, right? Yeah, you shouldn't need a love spell. You should be beautiful, and you should be able to attract the person that is meant for you, right? And when you bump into them, it will be mutual, right? You'll know instantly. And yeah, you shouldn't need spells for that. But it was still lovely that she gave me the cards, and I may one day do something, right? I'll just make it work the way I would do it. My intuition will come up, and it'll just represent something else when I do my reading, right? So because I needed more than one deck, and I want to get back into this right away, because you know what I do? I watch those ladies, those 2 ladies that I follow. JJ Consultation is one of this. And then there's another one, the Empress. I think the other lady's called the Empress. beautiful ladies, right? But I needed a set. So I know the tarots. I know the two tarots that I would want. I would want the spirit animals, or I'd want the fairies, right? Because the fairies give the magic and the miracles, but they're only given to the people that truly believe, right? That truly believe and truly have goodness in their heart, right? You'll never see a fairy if you're not good. You'll never see a fairy. So I had to have the fairy deck. They didn't have the spirit animal one that I wanted, right? But they did have the fairy one, and I was kind of looking at them all. But I went in there specifically for one of those two. So this is the one they had. So this is the one I chose, and I was really, really happy. But I've been brushing up. I had to separate all the cards because I guess the way they're manufactured, because see how they put gold? Can you see how it shimmers? They put a gold kind of coating on them, but I think they're all bound together, and then they put the coating, because I had to peel every single one. I had to peel, and then because they were separated into their sections, because the fairies are done with seasons, right? Summer, winter, spring, and fall, right? And each one will have their set. So it took me a half an hour just to shuffle them and welcome them into my hands, right? So they'll be stiff. They'll be stiff for a little bit, but I'm very happy. I have enough. 2 decks is more than enough to get started, right? Yeah, 2. And I have all my smalls. My smalls will be my charms for these too. So yeah, so I thought this might be a way that I could maybe I can direct everybody to my Facebook. Maybe this will be a Facebook thing that I can do. I don't know. In the meantime, I'm going to learn it, right? I've had tarot cards before, so it's just a matter of getting the feel for them and seeing, because I haven't touched them, being the Cindy that I am now. I haven't touched tarots except for last night when I shuffled these for a half an hour, right? I haven't touched the cards in probably 25 years anyway, right? I think probably since my husband. I might have done some readings when I was with my husband. It would seem reasonable that I might have, because I worked in the bar too. It would have been a perfect opportunity in the slow times in between the happy hour and stuff that I might have done cards for the guests and stuff. It seems to me that I might have done something like that, right? But yeah, so I got my tarot card, so I'm all happy about that. And I'm committed every day, a half an hour, twice a day. So tonight I have one more half an hour to work with my cards. I have not done a reading for myself. I want to get a good feel for the deck, right? A good feel for the deck. Okay, let's see how the comments are going. Pop in, say hi, and let us know where you're from, right? What do we got going on here? I liked Walter Matthau. I like being on the dime. What does that? I don't get that. The King of Solitaire. I used to play solitaire. I used to play lots of cards. I actually used to go into Poker Stars, right? And I would go in the free tournaments, and I would win money in the free tournaments and then go and play on the money tables, right? I did that all the time. I was very good. I used to rank all the time in the poker tournaments. I was very good at that, right? I think I put my cards in wrong. Raw. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, so that was pretty exciting that I got all these neat bottles, and I actually got to spend some time outside today, which was the nicest thing of all, right? Which was the nicest thing of all, was being able to get outside and be with the trees and dig around in the dirt like I did, right? I was digging around in the dirt. I was enjoying myself so much. And I stopped off at the store and I grabbed myself a cup of coffee, and yeah, I had a very nice relaxing day. And then I think after my live tonight, I think I'm actually going to put up another post. I wasn't going to do my Instagram post tonight. The weekends I've been trying not to do written posts on the weekends, but I got a good series going on right now. I'm telling everybody about my trip on to Toronto. So I'll be shooting videos and clips and writing a little bit about that story about my trip to Toronto. But I'm delving in, right? I'm delving into, having to hide things from my sister and all the lessons that I learned in between, all my limiting beliefs, all the things I had to overcome. So I'll be adding all that into the story too, right? So yeah, so I'm lucky. I've been going over the footage and everything. Oh, okay. Oh, Andrew, I like that saying then. I like that saying. Okay, so let's look at it and look at that saying again. I don't like having to do things. I don't like being on the dime. I like that. Yes. Okay, I get it now. I get it. I think I'm the same way. Well, I like being obligated to do things too, right? Because it gives me a sense of accomplishment, right? When I'm set to task and if I complete the task and I do a good job, right? Then I expect to be recognized at the very least for the good job that I did, right? Sometimes I do. Oh, but I know sometimes when I set myself to obligate, because sometimes I like to do, I'm kind of like an event planner when it comes to work and stuff. And I'll go, okay, we're having dinner night, potluck night. Everybody has to bring something for potluck. And then I feel sorry because I obligated myself to put this little event on, and I have to hound people. Oh, what are you bringing for the potluck? And then I have to make sure that it's all good, and then I have to set up the room. And in the moment, it's all fun, but at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're going, why did you even open up your mouth, Cindy? It's like saying your friend pressuring you to have a Tupperware party, and then you go, yeah. And then afterwards you go, why did I say yes? I don't want to have a Tupperware party. Now I got to have a Tupperware party, right? We obligate ourselves to do things that we don't want to do. And sometimes we do that for etiquette, right? We do that for kindness for other people, right? I got a little bit of it itchy. I'm getting used to new bras here, right? I finally broke down and brought a couple of bras that actually fit me properly, right? But I'm getting used to how they fit my skin, right? And today I went and I tightened up all the shoulders and everything, so it'll give you a little a little bit more of a lift and everything. And yeah, I guess I tightened them up too much. On something you've been obligated to, right? Is that what you're saying, Melvin, that you've always been obligated? Are you married, Melvin? Are you married? Yeah, I'd be interested to know that. And if you're answering to your wife, it would be nice to see Robert pop in tonight. Wouldn't it be nice to see Robert to pop in tonight and to get into that conversation, right? And provide some value there and see how he's been doing, since that conversation we had 2 weeks ago. I have no idea how Robert's doing. I would love to know. I went through all my emails and everything just to see if I could find an old email or something from him, right? So that I could get a hold of him, and I couldn't find one, right? I guess I could try again, because just because I tried once and didn't find it doesn't mean that I can't find it again. If he emailed, if we had a communication offline, I should be able to pull up his email somehow, right? Maybe I'll give it another shot and see if I can find Robert online just to see how he's doing. Oh, okay. Melvin. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, no, my husband, he moved in with me the day after I met him. He was in the military. I don't think he enjoyed living on base. I don't think he enjoyed living on base. I was living in my own apartment, and we kind of hit it off almost immediately, right? Even though I didn't even know his name, and I think I was already in love with him, right? He was in the military and he took off for a couple of months. I didn't see him for a couple of months, and I just remembered I was just absolutely heartbroken. I thought I scared him away, right? And then when I saw him again, I just flew myself into his arms. Yeah, he moved in with me the next day, the very next day. Within 6 months, like I didn't even know it was going in that direction. And, I think it was Valentine's Day, he actually asked me to marry him. I was in absolute shock, right? I didn't even believe it was true because I think he had a few beers in him at the time, right? So I wasn't taking it serious or anything. But then on Valentine's Day, he came home with the engagement ring. He says, "What? You didn't think I was going to ask you to marry me without giving you an engagement ring, did you?" And he gave me an engagement ring. 2 weeks later, I lost it. I didn't take the garbage out for a month. I tore through every single garbage bag. I didn't let anything leave my house until I could track down that ring. And I never did. I never did find that. I never did find that engagement ring. It should have been a sign, right? It should have been a sign not to marry him. My life would have been absolutely different, right? Because at that time, I had lost lots of weight already. I had lost lots of weight, and I looked really good, but I wasn't very good with men. I didn't. I was a bit of a people pleaser, and I worked in a bar, and guys would ask me out and stuff. I didn't know how to say no and stuff, so I would just and I didn't let it go for very long, right? Right away I wanted to be in a relationship so I wouldn't have to deal with that stuff because I was scared of it, right? And then I hooked up with my husband, and he was like pretty close to my very first relationship, right? And we stuck together for 8 years, right? It was actually a pretty good marriage as far as I was concerned. Right. I didn't think anything was wrong with the marriage right up to the very end. Right. And then once it was over, Well, I would say very quickly, like the decision for it to be over was very quick. Like I knew it was over. When it was over, it was over. But physically, emotionally, when somebody's that important to you and impacted you that much in your life, right? And of course, he was military, right? So we had a military family that I was tied into by that time, and I had given up my civilian friends. So I was about to give up my military family. So I was going to be absolutely alone again, right? So I made the mistake of trying to find a new partner within the military, right? Which was kind of hurtful towards my husband. He never said anything about it. He took it very well and everything. But again, I felt bad about it. I felt guilty. I felt the shame. So I actually ended up bowing out of that community altogether. Usually what happens anyway when the marriage is split up, right? It just took me a little bit longer to pull away from that, right? Yeah, it was, I ended up by myself for the longest time. And that's how I became a codependent, right? And ended up, kind of being friends with my sister and just allowing my sister to run my life, right? And that's what I did. And I allowed that to happen for far too long. I let that happen for well over 10 years. I didn't make a decision. I didn't make a decision without running it by my sister Tracy. Life was good for me. As long as I followed my sister's instructions and, stuck with the family rules and everything, like life was good. But the moment I kind of separated and did my own thing, right? We became different people. And, that's when the problem started. That's what we're going to be talking about a little bit in this Toronto trip, right? Because it became very apparent that our relationship was breaking down at that point when I went through I guess it was a spiritual awakening, right? Is what I had, right? And I'm pretty open about it on my Instagram and everything, but I spent a lot of time on this YouTube channel here doing outdoor explore channels that it's just as of recently, I've been sharing a little bit more of the inside explore, right? And especially when the channel is about exploring the inside and the out, right? It just makes sense that I should be more comfortable explaining it. But the thing is, when you don't understand really what's going on, right? You're holding out until you have the answers. Who else do we have in here tonight? LML. I have lots and lots of hobbies going on. I do woodwork. I make walking sticks. I make canes. Here's a couple of them that I've made recently. This is a cane that I made for one of my followers. Her name's Karen. I haven't heard from her, but Karen, if you're watching my live, come on, let's get together. It's time for us to go for a coffee. And for you to get your cane, you're going to need it this winter. We're going to get a lot of snow. And Owen's not here yet, I don't think, but Owen usually pops in. He's one of my moderators also. And he's been with me for a very long time. And I just recently finished this cane. See, I even put his name on there. It's got coats and coats of lacquer. That'll never come off. A nice little thumb finger there for his thumb. And it's a nice straight stick too. I really like this this one is more of a walking stick, but if he took off, it's actually probably a really good height, but it'll be a 1/2 inch instead of an inch on a rubber stopper on the bottom for this one, right? So it'll just be more of a poker digging into the snow to grab to make sure that he doesn't slip. So it'll be a good stick. And because this is an exterior clear coat, the snow could run up 3 foot up the stick, no problem, without it taking off the finish. And once the finish does start to wear a little bit, then it's easy. Just an exterior clear coat. Just put a nice coat of exterior clear coat, and it'll be good for another 5 or 10 years. I haven't started. Well, I have a couple other things I'm doing. A wand for Nancy when Nancy comes in. And then I have this piece, I think it's walnut, and it's going to be it's good. This one's actually going to be modified. This will be a walking stick for now, but it will be able to use, I'm going to taper it and everything so it can actually be, when you're older, it'll be your best friend for all the years, right? And then it will be a walking cane should you need it, right? Let's hope you don't need it as a walking cane, but it'll always be a walking stick. This was a piece that I was holding on. I thought I was going to make like one of those Moses staffs with it, but it's my last stick that's dry and ready to be done. And I've got to start work on this, but I'm still working on Nancy's wand, and that's here somewhere on my shelf here with my sanding stick. So whenever I have a minute, I do sanding and stuff on it and everything. And I want to get that ready so that she has that stick. But what kind of hobbies do you guys do? I'd love to know what kind of hobbies that you guys like to do. Like I said, I do the woodworking. I like to go for country drives, but I don't have my car anymore, right? My car got taken away from me, right? Because, it doesn't matter what the reason was. I'm glad not to have a vehicle, right? If there are strings attached, I'm perfectly fine. I will find a way to get my own vehicle. That's what I will do, right? But I also spend a lot of time outside. Like today, what I was doing is I was doing the bottle digging. I was digging for bottles. We have a bank down by the river, and the voyageurs, which are the fur traders for the Hudson Bay Company, used to go up and down that river with their fur trading. And that has been an active spot between the crossings of the Red River and the Assiniboine River for thousands and thousands of years. But the bank is falling in, right? And 150 years ago, they would just throw all their garbage right over the bank. And yeah, I found a nice little garbage dump with some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bottles today. I found a whiskey bottle today. Yeah, big old whiskey bottle. Oh, okay, Victoria. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes that driftwood, though, has been sodden with water and then dried out, sodden with water, dried out, that it's not really, really good for finishing anymore, especially when it starts to gray, when you see the grayness in the driftwood. But every once in a while, I do get some really, really nice pieces of wood. For those of you who don't know, we have tons of beaches in Manitoba, tons and tons of beaches. Our Lake Winnipeg is actually 24,000 kilometers. I'm not quite sure how many. Can anybody do a quick calculation of how many miles 24,000 kilometers is in miles? I would love to know that calculation. It's a huge lake. It's one of the biggest lakes in Canada, and you can clearly see it. Oh, you can clearly see it by satellite, right? And between Lake Winnipeg and Lake Manitoba, it takes up almost half the provinces. And then on top of that, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of little scattered lakes, right? It's when the ice age receded, right? And it ground the ground. So as the ice age receded, the glaciers became smaller and smaller and smaller. And as they became smaller, they didn't have the power that they used to in order to grind the ground down. Up around Nopaming Park here in Manitoba, that area, Mississippi, all that northeastern part of the province there, that used to be mountains higher than the Rocky Mountains. But the glaciers, when they receded, it just ground those mountains. It's still very, very rocky. And it got really excellent rock formations. But that's how come we got such nice deep lakes, and why, because it's rock there, right? A moped, yeah, but I like to do long distance, right? How long? I couldn't drive a moped to Toronto or drive it to Nova Scotia or New Brunswick. I wouldn't be able to do that with a moped because you need to fill it up with gas every 50 kilometers, I would think, right? It's got such a small gas tank, but I would love to have a little moped for myself just for work, right? I got a pair of little carpet skates. They're just little plastic sheets. They're hard plastic, right? About the size of a snow boot, but they have Velcro and you strap them over your shoes so I can skate without using ice skates, right? Without using ice skates because my ankles can't take the ice skates anymore. But these ones are just Velcro that just kind of strap over your shoes and you just kind of, right? It's kind of like a plastic mat when you go tobogganing with the plastic mat, right? But the same kind of idea, but with these little plastic slabs, right? So I bought a pair of those. They were at the store. They were only a couple of dollars. I thought, oh, this will be fun, right? And I'll be able to go skating again, right? Because we have a skating rink at the school there, outdoor skating rink. So as soon as it gets cold, that ice rink is ready to go. And it's used all the time, but in the evening, they leave the lights on in the park, for a great part of the evening. And yeah, it'd be nice to get out there and be able to get onto the ice. I never go onto the ice because I don't want to put the ice skates on because they hurt my ankles. Yeah. And actually, I left my ice skates at the ice rink across the street last winter. I took a Sharpie and I just wrote, I wrote the size on the side of it. And I said, Help yourself. Wear them. If you walk by the ice rink and go, oh, I wish I had my skates. Well, here you go. There's a pair of skates. Get on the ice and have some fun, right? I saw the scooters. I think those scooters are pretty neat, right? My friend Eames and from Exploring and Me, he scoots around in a scooter all the time, and he takes it out to the bush where onto the trails for the mountain bikes and everything. He has an excellent time with those scooters. I would use a scooter. Is Norm here too? Ultralight aircraft? Does it have an engine, Melvin? Does your aircraft have an engine, or is it one of those ones that just catch the wind and just fly within the wind? I always watch those shows, right? And they look so interesting, especially when the geese are flying behind them and everything. Yeah. Almost 50. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Thank you. 15,000 miles, right? That's how big Winnipeg Lake is. It's absolutely, absolutely huge, right? Some states aren't that big. Bangerport, Pennsylvania. Hi, Norm. I don't know if we have anybody on our channel from Pennsylvania. Andrew, do you remember anybody from Pennsylvania? I don't remember anybody from Pennsylvania. Arkansas, right? Is that close to Pennsylvania, Arkansas? Oh, good, Andrew. Good, Andrew. At work, I got a pair of Drew shoes. If anybody knows who the Drew shoes are, so the Drew shoes are the orthopedic, the ones when you go see a foot doctor, and then they form forms with your feet. So when you have feet problems and everything, and then they put these hard forms into the Drew shoes. Well, I got a pair of shoes for $2.50, $2.40 with staff discount, right? They were absolutely brand new, but they were very hard, very uncomfortable. And I thought, well, maybe my inserts could go in there. And I kind of dug my hand inside the shoe, and these hard forms just popped right out. I couldn't believe how comfortable to get such good orthopedic shoes for work. I'm very grateful, very grateful. My size, they fit perfect, super comfortable. They'll last me right till the end of my life for sure. And those shoes I know are $200 a pair, right? They're very, very expensive, and that's without the forms. They're probably $400 with the forms, right? But those forms were made for whoever had the shoe before, but they were in perfect shape. I guess he tried them on once. He says, oh, these hurt so bad, and he never wore them again. Thank you very much. I'll take those. Yeah, so I know exactly how you feel. Yeah, good score of finding those shoes in the laundry room. A couple of summers ago, I walked down the back alley, and I guess the lady had passed away, and the children had come in and put all her belongings in the back alley with the sign saying "Help yourself." Amazing, amazing things. This woman loved expensive Christmas ornaments. My sister collects Christmas, so she took all the Christmas. This woman loved to do gourmet cooking. She had all kinds of gourmet, very expensive cookware. Like one frying pan was almost $200. It was like one of those fancy TV chef's frying pans with the glass lid. It was just a beautiful one, and I kept it, right? When I looked it up, it was worth it. I almost thought of selling it, but it was so heavy that I thought, oh, Cindy, you just might as well keep it for yourself, because the shipping on this would just be absolutely crazy, right? So I kept and I've gotten lots of use out of that frying pan over the years since getting it. And I got a beautiful mix. It was really, really neat, right? And I had that happen one time with a girlfriend. She met a new man or something, and he moved to BC, and he said, do you want to move to BC with me? And she had like just a few hours to try and store as much of her stuff as she could. And she couldn't store any of it or take any of it with her. So she told all her friends to come over and help themselves. And she had beautiful things. And I went over there, and oh boy, I scored good. TVs, furniture, right? I lived really close. I lived in the same complex from her. So I was able to just scoot over there right away and just grab stuff, run back to the apartment, then run back. And I was just like I was just moving. And I suppose I could have stored stuff for things for her and stuff. But I wasn't that person at that time, right? I was just thinking score, right? At that time, I just kind of, I didn't think of myself. I still thought of other people, but I didn't think of other people with the values that I have now. It was always, what can I do to make them happy? What can I do to make them like me? What can I do for us to have fun and make this fun, right? So that's how I thought. I didn't care how I accomplished it, right? But I still wanted to help. Now I want to help. But it can't go against my values, and it has to go with my one word, kindness, too. So it has to be full of kindness, and there probably has to be lessons, right? It's like the homeless when they go to the Salvation Army, right? Before you get dinner, right? Before you get dinner, you have to sit there and listen to a little bit about Jesus, right? That's what they do at the Salvation Army. So yeah, I kind of do the same thing. Then turn the keys over to the bank. Oh, well, that's good. And remember this video too, Andrew, because if there's ever a problem and you actually go in there and do clean up the house and you have problems, well, you can just reference this video because you told us that it would be all good, right? You told us that it would be all good. Oh, yeah. Oh, New Jersey. Okay. I had a gentleman that followed me in North Jersey. His channel was called North Jersey Exploring, something like that. I followed him for the longest time, and he followed my channel. We were supporting each other for the longest time. He drank an awful lot, right? But he did a video one day when he was drinking and driving, and I was put off by it, because he could be out there hurting people, right? And he thought it was funny that he was drinking, like actually had liquor in a bottle, in a paper bag, sitting in the car, right? And he thought it was funny. And I never said anything to him. I just stopped supporting him on his channel. I didn't comment on his channel. I didn't come and watch his video. Well, maybe I did come and watch some of his videos because in New Jersey, they sure do have some historical stuff. But he did B&Es too. He would break into houses and go into people's attics and stuff. Like I was very offended by the way he was representing urban exploration. But I didn't say anything to him. I just stopped commenting. North Jersey, his channel was. I can't remember his name, right? But I stopped watching his content. I stopped commenting on it. And then one day he said, Cindy, like, what's going on? You haven't commented on any of my videos. And then I just said, I'm really, really sorry. I says, but I can't support a channel that does drinking and driving and thinks it's funny. Like my audience, I'm sending my audience over there to watch your content, and you're not representing the hobby properly. I was just totally honest, right? I was very kind. I did it very kindly and everything, but yeah, he blew up on me. He blew up on me like crazy town, and he tore me to shreds. He said the most horrible, mean, nasty things about me physically, right? Things about me physically, and just to purposely hurt me. And so I never commented to him again. I never answered any of his emails or anything. And I know it was probably at that moment, he had probably had a few drinks or something like that, right? And, and he probably was offended by me telling the truth, because I am a bit of a truth teller, but I did it very kindly. But some people just don't want to hear it, right? Some people just don't know, or just don't want to hear it. And sometimes I don't know when to keep my mouth shut. I could have just not replied to his comment, but I did. So you know what? It's consequences, cause and effect, right? A house built in 1890. It must be absolutely beautiful, Norm. Is it restored? Did you restore that house? Yeah, 1890. I wonder where I'm going to be living. I'm ready to move. I'm pretty excited, right? I think I'm going to phone housing. I'm going to let them know that the situation I'm in, right? And I'm going to tell them that, if they could please get me into something, right? So that I have a place to stay, because now I'm at risk of not having a roof over my head, right? And the situation with my sister has deteriorated very, very badly. And I realize it's not going to be repairable. We see things differently now. Our values are different. I need kindness in my life. I can't allow her to tear me down, or tear my beliefs down, or make me feel bad about myself, right? It's very important that my relationships online and offline, right, and with my family are solid. Now she's expecting like us to be all around for Christmas dinner and everything. No. I'm going to my niece's this year for Christmas. I'm going to my niece Grace's for Christmas. She wanted to do Christmas at her house because of the baby, right? She doesn't want smokers in the house and everything. She doesn't want the baby around smoke. So she said she's going to do Christmas on her own. So I think maybe it would be nice if I go and I spend some time with my sister or with my niece this year for Christmas. And I don't mean to hurt my sister, right? But at the same time, I don't want to be hurt, and it's damage all the way around. We need a break, right? We need a break, and we both need time to think about our actions and how they impact each other, not just her, but me too, right? Yeah, see, but you can't worry about what other people think, right, Andrew? Because we're all kinds of different people. Like something that you don't think of. I've done it the same way, where I've gone and said something, and somebody's offended by what I say, or they don't believe in the things that I believe in, but they enjoy the company, right? But they think I'm a little funny on the side, right? But that's the best you can do, right? When you rub people the wrong way, it's just, oh, okay, well, we're not supposed to be interacting that way, right? Because and lots of times we could just carry on and not know we've offended, but they're kind of a polite soul, right? They're kind of polite, so they don't say anything, kind of like what I did to this North Jersey guy, right? This explorer with North Jersey, just by not, commenting and not watching his content, just not interacting with him anymore, right? So you just kind of phase yourself out of that, because you're not supposed to have interactions like that. Doesn't mean their content or their videos and stuff that they're putting out isn't good, right? But you just don't want to have it, because that rubs off on you. If you have values, if your values are important to you, why do you want to have influence rubbing up against that, and taken away from all your hard work, right? I've had friends like that. In their souls, I knew they were kind-hearted people, so sweet, always thinking of other people all the time. But they had things about them, right? They had things about them that weren't so great. I had a friend who was a shoplifter, shoplifted all the time. She would take orders from people. What do you need, right? And she would go to the store and she would just take the things and sell them to these people at half the price or whatever it is. And she would pull me into those things. Like I would be wearing garbage bags underneath my coat and stuff. Like it was the influence, right? Right? And it was like shameful, and I felt so guilty and everything. But, she treated me so good. She treated me so good, but I didn't realize at that time she treated me like that so that she could use me as a workhorse, or what do you call that? Donkeys. That's what they call them. They call them donkeys and that's exactly what she used me for, as a donkey, to do her dirty work for her, because she knew that I wanted a friend, right? And being a mirror empath, right? It was easy for me to reflect what other people were, right? And these were my friends, so I must be exactly like them. There were lots of things that my friends did that I didn't do. Most of my friends were drinkers. Like in my 20s, like most of my friends, when I say drinkers, I mean drinkers. Like this is what they did every single day, was start in the afternoon, because they would sleep till then, and they would drink until they passed out or did something stupid, right? Right? That the night came to an end. And I did this life for years, but I never drank myself. I just kind of busy bodied around them because I was that people pleaser, right? So they would be all getting pounded, and I would be in the kitchen making bread and cookies and stuff for them, right? That's what I would be doing, right? And I would be sitting there and having great conversations with them. Some of my very best conversations and insights came from people who had amazing experiences, and these people had amazing experiences in their lives, right? They were very creative, but the way they dealt with their problems and their experiences, right, were with addictions and bad behavior. Now, that's not to say I didn't have mine. Like I said, I was big on food. I got to 300 pounds, no problem. I got to 300 pounds, and that was how I dealt with my emotions, right? That's how I dealt with my emotions. 1987, when I lost that 160 pounds, it took me a long time. It took me over 20 years, 25 years to gain 60 or 70 pounds of that back, right? But I did gain it back over the years, right? I did gain quite a bit of that. I never got to as big as I was again, but I did get pretty big. And then this past year, as you all know, and this is actually one of my shirts still, but you can tell by the shoulder where the shoulders are, right? Like this is one of my old shirts, but it's still comfy and it's still orange. Like orange is my favorite shirt, and it's a hoodie shirt, right? Like the hoodie shirts are my absolute favorites. I love hoodie shirts, right? I have lots of hoodies too, but the hoodie shirts, right, is what I absolutely love. And that's true, right? We rub some people wrong. We do. You can just stretch your brain like for a week trying to figure out, what you did to offend somebody, but you don't have to offend them in any way. It's just naturally built into them, right? My sister has a serious reaction to me. She never had those reactions to me before last year. She never had those. My sister was super loving and super kind and super giving. Always, right? Always looking out for me and my well-being, right? Taking care of the rent, taking care of the bills, right? She'd do that stuff. I wouldn't even have to think about it. I wouldn't even have to say anything. Like she had all my accounts on her computer. She would just take care of all that stuff for me. But what she was doing is she was enabling me, right? Because I was no longer able to do that for myself, right? I wasn't able to do that. Sorry, it's this bra. I think I might, when I washed it, I left too much detergent in it or something. But my skin is really itchy in this bra, right? But then again, I sweated pretty good because I was hacking away with my garden tools on that bank. And if you haven't seen what I found in that bank today, I found this drugstore. It says Winnipeg Drug Hall is the name of this. Is the name of this bottle. It's a very old one too. I absolutely love it. And then I found this old, I couldn't even describe to you how heavy this bottle is. It's got a bit of a pontoon on the bottle. I was looking for a seam, but there's no seam on this bottle, but it's a very old bottle because it was very close. It was very close to this one here, this bottle here. And this is an old one. A few weeks ago, I found this hutch, right? This old hutch. This is actually one of the very first pop bottles of Canada. This is Blackwood's. This company is actually called 7-Up now, right? Blackwood's is the 7-Up company. And yeah, and that used to be the stopper for the pop bottle, right? And it says Winnipeg along the side. Yeah. And then this is an old beer bottle. Isn't that cool? And it says you can't replicate it, that you would go be prosecuted if you destroy this bottle or you don't turn it in, you'll be prosecuted, right? And again, it says Winnipeg across it. And this guy, E.L. Drury, he actually came up from South Dakota, I think. He came up from South Dakota to actually build our beer company, right? He actually came in and he started this brewery here in Manitoba, and he came up here, I think, in 1877, right? I love history, you guys. History, natures, right? Exploring the inside and the out. I just mix it all into a great big jumble, and I kind of just throw it at my friends here. And it's funny because we're all different denominations. We're all different denominations here. We've got Christianity. We got Catholics. We have some Palladians here. We have some Palladians. I don't know. I think I'm an indigo child. I know I'm kind of old. But I do believe that I am an indigo. And yeah, go Google that one. Go Google that one. And yeah, I think I do a little bit of channeling. I explore the inside and the out. That's what I do. And lately I've really been exploring the inside. What do you guys think of my painting? Did anybody figure out what the spiritual meaning of this? If I have it in a digit, if Nancy came in, maybe Nancy would know for sure, right? Because that does look very Haida to me. It does look very Haida to me, right? It's very representative of something spiritual. I'm thinking, sunrise and sunset, right? And the whale, right? The water line, the whale jumping out of the water. It's very representative of something. So I'm really looking forward to somebody coming up and letting me know what the story is on that painting. And even if you recognize the artist, I'm having a hard time figuring out the artist. I know his first name is Lawrence. And I think his last name starts with a B, if I saw it correctly. So if anybody can help me out on the artist of this painting, I sure would be pleased to know. And actually, if you get a hold of me, I've been happy to send you a photograph of the signature. If you wanted to actually figure it out, see if you could figure out who the artist was and get some research done on it. I'm sure it's worth a few $100s. It's professionally framed, right? So I'm sure it's worth a few $100s, but the colors are so beautiful. Don't they go with my wall just perfectly? And they go with my brand so perfectly. Yeah, they go with my brand. My set looks so bare, right? I got Evan's books here. If you don't know, Evan Carmichael, he's like my I don't know. He's like my online mentor. I follow his content. I'm sure there's nobody out there in the whole world that knows Evan Carmichael more than I do, except maybe his wife, right? Maybe a couple of more people. His mom, right? His mom and dad, right? But, when it comes to Evan's brand, I doubt very much anybody understands Evan, like as much as you think you know, right? Because you could just know him, but if you don't know him, right? right? If you don't have his very best interest at heart, right? Like I've got a list. I actually keep a book that I jot ideas down, right? I do. I got a list going on. Here. And these are things that he needs to change, right? And he's going to hate me. If I ever have to make him do this list, he's going to absolutely hate me. He's not going to want to do any of it. And he's probably not even going to agree that any of this is going to be a problem. But yeah, I get these ideas and but it's because I have his best interest at heart. And because, when I woke up to all of this, and I had these ideas, I actually saw where I was supposed to be in like where I'm supposed to go with working my brand and what I'm doing online as a baby boomer. Like I'm just following my intuition all the way around. I'm always ready for a little bit of intuition. I'm always ready for a little bit of intuition, right? Keep it coming. Let's just keep this moving, right? What bugs me is when I don't get the intuition. It doesn't come to me, and then I just kind of have to fly by the seat of my pants. But I've been doing that better and better lately too, right? I've been doing better and better with that lately too. So let me look at the comments. Let me see what I'm missing out here. There's going to be a lot of breakups this year. And not only a lot of breakups, right? There's going to be a lot of breakups. It's going to be very stressful breakups. Very financially, it's going to be very, very difficult for people when they break up. They weren't prepared for any of this. Their emotional well-being. If you can help anybody out there, if you know people that are having marriages break up and stuff, if you could sit down and just even let them cry on your shoulder, or if you had a few kind words for them, or if you can do a little kindness even for them to try and ease that suffering, right? Because it's time, it's talking, and it's crying. It takes time, right? And there's a lot of this going on, right? With the coronavirus, with the protests, a lot of stressful situations. It's a lot for relationships to take in, right? It's a lot for relationships to be able to hold up when everything is just fighting against you, right? I never give up. I never give up unless I know that there truly isn't anything more. Like, I'm not one for crying over spilt milk. Once I know it's done, it's done. It's over. I move on, right? On to the next. Next, please. Right? Right? I'll never waste any time ever again crying the boo-hoos over anybody. I'll just right away. I'll get over it immediately. Done, right? My marriage fell apart. My husband came home, right? Told me in the morning he loves me. He goes to work, and then he comes home after work and he says, "Oh, I don't know if I want to be married." Okay, bye. Go. Just go, right? Yeah. He was gone. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what he said. It didn't matter what he did. Like, he said what he said, and he couldn't take it back, right? I would always question after that. I never even questioned it. Never even entered my mind up until that point. And then he planted that seed, and that seed wasn't going anywhere, right? So he wasn't going to get another chance. And yet we dragged it on for years and years and years, which made it very, very painful, which made it so I never got married again, which meant also I never had children, right? I never had children because, by the time our marriage fell apart, and by the time I was done with my husband, I was already in my 40s, right? I didn't want to start having kids when I was in my 40s and stuff. I wanted to live for myself. I think that was at that point where, I wanted to find some happiness for myself. I wanted to be happy. I wanted my life to be for me. And that was maybe the first stages of awakening, right? Maybe it was just the first stages. It just all came in little stages, right? And every once in a while, somebody would pop into my life, whether it was just for the moment or just a quick meeting, or we were friends, but just long enough until the packages could be delivered, right? And then I was on my own again, right? You can get me going on this stuff. You can get me going on this stuff, no problem. Hi, Owen. Hi, Owen. I hope everything's going good for you. I hope everything's going, showing everybody your walking stick. And I'm going to keep showing you until I can figure out, just like, we need to get this off to you, right? I'm going to be dragging this around for the next 50 years until we can actually get your walking stick off to you. This is Owen. This was the gentleman I was telling you about, who I was making a stick for. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So what was I talking about there? I don't know. I was yapping about something. Let's see what everybody else has got going on there. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is Andrew. Andrew. Holy moly. That is absolutely crazy. How did you find him? And when I was looking on how to spell his name, when I was looking to figure out how to spell his name, I think that's how I spelled it even. Where did I even write it down? Yeah, I took a photograph of it too. So where is he from? Yeah, right. Talking about getting, I can't believe you found, that's exactly who he is. Where is he from? Wow, how did you find him so fast? I'm just going to show you guys the signature on that one. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Here it is. That's exactly, like, look at, this is raw. Can I, there we go. Can you guys see that? Lawrence, I took a photograph and I enhanced it so it could see, but it's in pencil and it's fading out, but you can see it is him, Andrew. What do you know about him? Andrew? I'm so curious. I couldn't find anything about him today. And I even punched that name in, I think, too, and nothing popped up, but you did find him. But can you tell that his paintings are a little bit different, right? He has a Facebook page. Okay. I got to write that down so that I have his name spelled properly. Maybe I just spelt it. You sure found him fast. Everybody is on Facebook, aren't they? Lawrence, Beaulieu. Did he have some of his work on his Facebook page? Did he have some of his work there? Yeah, so maybe I could just email him and ask him if he knows, if he could tell me what the story is on this painting. I would love to know a little bit more. But yeah, I'll find him on Facebook. I'll find him on Facebook, right? Yeah, but I'm so grateful to have this picture. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And I love his character too. Do you know where he's from, Andrew? Did you notice where he's from? I know the picture frame said he was, thank you, Owen. Thank you. I got that for $7 at Goodwill. I got it for $7. It's got to be worth hundreds. Perfect. I'm looking forward to looking at his work. Yes, so I'm excited about that. Oh, Oh, you found him so fast, but I'm actually glad that I actually know how to spell his name properly too now. But yeah, his pencil was pretty faded out. So I'd had a hard time. It took me a while to get his first name, but his last name was a little difficult. But yeah, I love the colors. It goes perfectly, and I'm very curious about the meaning of the picture. I know it's something spiritual, right? I'm thinking something to do with sunrise and sunset, right? Right? Because the lines, right? The rays, you can see the rays, and the rays are up on the top one too. So that one would have been sunrise, and the one on the bottom would have been sunset, right? Yeah, I think that's probably for sure what that is. But who's to say? But I'll get a hold of you. I'll get a hold of him this week, and I'll ask him. I'll send him a picture of the painting. You'll probably be happy to hear that his painting is still kicking around. I wonder if he'll even remember this painting. I'm sure he does. Everybody remembers their work, right? And it's a pretty neat whale, because the whale has a very angry look to its eyes, right? The whale has a very, let me pull it off the wall here so everybody can look at it really close. It's very well framed, right? It's professionally framed. But look at this whale's eyes. Look at this whale's eyes. Doesn't he look angry? Angry blue whale. Blue whales were my favorite candy. Do you guys have that in the States, Andrew? The jelly whales, they're blue, right? And they're like that big, and they're like little blue whales, and they're made of jelly candy. I love those just as much as I love this painting, right? I just love this painting, and I'm looking forward to contacting that gentleman about it, right? No, you're not, eh? Yeah. So yeah, I got that painting for $7. Any Native American art comes up, I'm grabbing it. All the Haida art, I've gotten quite a few like birthday cards and stuff that I'm going to frame, because the artists, they like to do their cards and stuff for birthday cards and blank cards and stuff. So I buy those. I think they actually come from the gift shops and everything, but I'm buying those all up. Letter openers. I got a nice little wood carving too, a little Haida wood carving I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, I forgot to put it in my bucket. Oh no, I did put it in my bucket. So I'm pretty excited to pay for those on payday. It's Inuit. That makes sense, right? It's Inuit art. Ooh, it's even better than Haida art, right? It's very distinct, right? Yeah, so that makes sense that maybe it might be Inuit art. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me know. Yeah, I'm going to assume that he is Inuit, right? That makes me happy to hear that out, because it makes it even more rare, right? Because the Inuit, they're well known for their soapstones, right? We have a gift shop. He ships all over the world. He has a little artisan gallery here on Corden, and I see him in through the windows all the time when I walk by, and he's always packing boxes with these soapstones that he has artists up north that ship them to him, and then he ships them out. I've got a pork roast in the oven. I totally forgot about it, right? It was my dinner for tonight, but I got home late to put it into the oven, so I knew I still had to cook it because it was thawed out and everything, and now I've got 6 days of work to do. I work 6 days straight now, and so I knew I wasn't going to get another opportunity to come home from work and put a pork roast in. So I thought, well, Cindy, cook that roast now, right? You can have pork roast dinner tomorrow. Just cut it in half and put half in the fridge, and the other half put it in the freezer. And you can make a nice pork fried rice or something for later on in the week, right? Later on in the week. So everybody is doing good. I was really, really hoping to see Nancy tonight, and I was really hoping to see Robert tonight, right? I'm worried about Robert. Robert, you say you come in here and you watch these videos after my lives. I know you said that when we were talking. You said you always come in afterwards and watch my lives afterwards. I hope everything is going good for you, Robert. We're thinking about you here. Andrew's going to throw a prayer out there. I'm going to throw out some good mojo to you, Robert, right? I hope you have a little bit of peace of mind and that wife and daughter of yours are treating you well this week, right? And hopefully you'll pop in and say hi to us next week, right? Yeah, pop in and say hi to us. And yeah, I hope everybody's feeling. You too, Owen. You've been out of it too. We should be coming out of this right away. You know, we should start having a little bit more of an abundant life. Things should be, moving a little bit easier for us shortly, right? You know, if you guys just stay in a good cheer, keep moving, setting little goals for yourself and stuff, things should start moving a little bit better. Even I feel a little bit better. Like things are still falling apart all around me, but I feel emotionally, I feel a little bit better, right? Yeah, Owen, you're more than welcome. You have my email. Email me when you're feeling poopy and stuff. Instagram me, DM me. William DMs me like almost every single day. He throws me a DM, whether it's just to say good morning or afternoon, like just to touch base. Owen, you've been with me a long time, right? You're under my keep there. Like if you're having issues, like DM me and let's talk, right? We can do a Zoom call, right? Or we can do Google Hangouts, or we can do Facebook Live, something. We can do an Instagram Live. If you want to come live with me on Instagram, you're more than welcome to, Owen. I don't want you to feel bad, and I don't want you to feel like you just have to suffer by yourself, right? Like nobody out there, none of you guys should be suffering and feeling bad, right? And feeling those pressures and dealing with things all by yourself. It's not healthy. I did it for decades and decades and decades, right? Talking, crying, and time. You guys, right? Start talking. I know it's harder for guys than it is for girls. It's just the way we're brought up. It's the etiquette of the world, right? We just kind of, it's just expected and stuff. But like you guys aren't going to heal unless you guys talk about your stuff, right? When life isn't going well, when there's a lot of pressures, when you think the joy in your life is just being sucked out of it by having to do things that you would rather not be doing, right? When you see your life slipping away and you don't see things progressing the way that you want, right? Right? Don't just settle. Progress, right? Progress. Just move just a little bit, right? Yeah. Anytime, Owen. Anytime. You're more than welcome to email me. We should all, let me know, you guys. If you want to do like a Zoom call, we could do a Zoom meeting. A few of us get together, maybe 5 or 6 of us, just a small group. But, if we could just all get together on a Zoom call and just chit chat with each other, right? And just, have a really honest discussion and pull out some of those things that are bothering us. And, I know that you guys have a lot of insight that would be able to help me out lots, right? And the same with me, with you guys. But, lots of times, again, we're on public forum and stuff. Like we could do the casual chit chat. And once in a while, we can get pretty deep here. But if you're not comfortable with it, email me, DM me, find me on Facebook. If you have my emails, email me, right? Yeah, no need to go through that stuff by yourself, right? No need to. Okay, everybody, that's it for tonight. Oh, perfect. Anytime, right? This week, You know what? Anytime after 7:30 Central in the evening, 7:30 Central, maybe after your mom's gone to bed or something, right? We could do a Zoom call. I'm always home by 7:30 Central. Or you can get me first thing in the morning because the earliest I work, well, tomorrow I'm at work. I'll be out of here by 9 o'clock in the morning, but I'll be up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, early in the morning, if you want to do it early in the morning, right? I'm happy to do that. I'm always up bright and early. You can sit here with a cup of coffee, and that would start my day off good, right? Knowing that we both got our days sorted out. Okay, everybody. That's it for tonight. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for popping in on my live. We had lots of watchers and everything tonight, but people coming into the chat and everything, that was pretty awesome. But again, Robert, if you're watching this later on, I hope everything is going good for you. Pop in next Sunday if you can, or leave a comment below and let us know if everything is good. That would make me happy, and then I can at least pass that on to everybody. Sharon, too. Nancy, I hope everything's going good with you, right? Everybody, David, if you watch this later, right? Mr. Lopez, my hermit Franciscan monk, right? I hope everything's going good for you this week, right? Kim, Karen, all you guys, Kathy's not here. All you guys, have a great week. Okay, that's it. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.